Do we need a motion to go back into regular session? All right, Lewis, street department got a monthly report.
Monthly report, the week of Thursday, we have $8 asphalt. We picked up the majority of the limbs. We don't have any inmates. They said something about, emergency or something, and, we don't have them right now. Don't know if we gonna get them tomorrow. Last Monday, they had us bring them in, searched us and the trucks. I was nothing. And our asphalt, actually, maybe some more asphalt. And, but this, the rims and stuff over there on the sliding, we ain't got no manpower. And Carter and Charles trying to do the best we can, but there ain't none of us free back there. But we haven't had them in since last month.
At least push that stuff back off the road a little bit.
We don't even have, only person that have a machine to do that would be Mr. Long. We don't even have a machine to
What's
push.
wrong with our tractor?
We can push it with the tractor, but if we can get him, we can bring the dump truck, everything.
Okay, it's as that pile is collapsing and it's gonna end up, I mean, the limbs are sticking out and they're gonna drag down somebody's side car.
Right. So I don't have a problem pushing them over something.
Yeah, just move them back off the road.
Okay. All right.
Can you take the chipper?
Now it's 3 minutes. Let me tell you, they got loads in there. They got 10 in there. I told you that week before last, ain't nothing I can do with that. Man, I'm not, we cannot get that out of there. You got logs in there. You got all kind of brides and limbs and all that. We can't get that out of there. You got to have that machine to pick it up.
You talking about his bag on?
Whatever, that one he got with the gravel on it. We can't go in there and get it. You got enough tin to come off the houses and iron
It's
it.
all right, you don't have any more to, that's where you headed.
We will do it anyway.
All right, we're gonna make, you got some inmates possibly coming back?
I won't know. They called me this morning and told me don't even come at them this morning because, medical emergency or something, we know them land for that. She just told me to call the first thing in the morning. And then we not getting 9 of them over here. I'm looking if I get 3, because they ain't got nobody down there.
You're saying there's not a lot of available inmates?
They're the ones that they bringing in now. And, I mean, I take them, but when I tell you, I got to be on my P's and Q's, me and Carter and Charles, all of us got to be on our P's and Q's with these, because these are new. They coming from Cone, all over.
Is the average inmate over there?
I got, to put it to you like this, man, I got maybe 3 that's trustable.
What about, are there other inmates going to other locations?
That's right. They shipping them out of there somewhere else. They just ain't getting nobody back in. And then when they do get them in, like I say, I'm not knowing much about these here. I knew about the one I had. I got but they actually all kinds of little questions and stuff. They try to play it. And I'm not gonna let them play me at all. I got 2 that I would not bring back out there under no circumstance. I shut the job down first.
All right. We gotta make some progress.
Okay.
Let's come up with a plan.
Okay.
And let's really try to make some progress. I know we did a fantastic job for quite a while.
Right.
But it looks kind of like a little bit back to where we were.
Yeah, back to where we were, because we don't have as many inmates. Like I say, someone, if I go down there, I'll be lucky if I get 3.
All right. One of the things I mentioned to you a long time ago was let's not give anybody a reason to call the town hall.
Right.
What that means is let's go to work.
Right.
Let's stay out of Treppin Dolls. Let's stay out of Freeway.
Right.
The post office, everything else.
Right.
Okay. I mean, because y'all's truck sticks out like a sore
Oh
thumb.
yes. Oh yes.
So if we could, I mean, when I say don't go to Treppin Dolls, I mean at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right. I understand.
Versus lunch.
Right. I understand.
And so forth. So let's put in the best effort we can, because we just got to get caught up a little bit.
Ain't no problem with that. Like I say, if I can get some more help, we can roll with it.
Okay.
We can roll with it. I got one more thing. Mr. Wilson been feeding. Louis Quillen gave me a couple of dollars to feed him. He done gave me money to feed him. I go in my own pocket and feed him. These men don't get none for the peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
From
From
the
the
jail.
prison. And they don't mind working, but they want to eat. And I can understand.
What does it cost to feed each one?
When I was going to the school, I think the school was like $3.50 a plate or something.
Okay.
And then sometimes, like I say, he gave me $60 or $80 that I fed him 3 days on chicken and pizza and stuff. Mr. Ronnie Davis, I feed him. He'll buy him food and stuff. And like I
So
said,
how available is the school?
the school, all I gotta do is call it in, tell them how many I got,
Okay.
and go get it.
Okay, and is that, I mean, I know it's not a full rack of ribs, but I mean,
No,
is it adequate?
they do pretty good with them, because the ladies, they take care of them. They give them a good meal.
Okay.
Yeah, they give them a good meal. But
So
I'm
you
just
can
like-
call them late morning and say, hey, I need.
I mean, you can tell me call around 10, come pick it up around 11:30, 12 o'clock, and, I go get it and bring it back and let them eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Foster, you haven't been here since about August, so
Mhm.
could we see your logbook?
Huh?
Can we see your logbook?
My logbook is in the other truck down there, but I can get it, but I don't write nothing in the logbook no every day.
Okay, well, that's been about 6 months almost, so we just look at it.
Okay, I ain't got a problem
Okay,
with
so
it.
you go get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Longs?
Hello, how y'all doing this evening? I'm here representing water, sewer, and gas. Y'all have any questions? I don't have any reports
I
tonight.
was looking for your report.
Question, did you check, to see about repairing that in front of the utility department?
Yeah.
You know, that-
yeah,
because the street, that, I think that money could be used for that.
Yeah, they kind of a hold up on that because the ditch itself needs some work before we fix the road because it's starting to eat out this Barber Bond property. So we need to get some heavy duty stones and make up a stone wall before we fix the street, because if we don't fix that part first, we're just gonna continue to wash the road out,
So
so.
when somebody go up in there,
Yeah.
and town, and me go.
No, it's not that bad, I won't let it get that bad,
It's bad.
let me work on that a little more.
Do you happen to have a contact for that bigger riprap kind of material?
Yeah, I got some contact from the county, so,
Okay.
yeah.
So, if you'd like me to ask the county, or if you ask them, say, hey, what's it cost for a truck, or a dump truck load, or
Yeah, but we both can do it, so make sure we start pushing forward.
who are you talking to over there?
I had talked to the 4 district supervisor, not supervisor, foreman, Dean Jones.
Oh, Dean, okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, he had gave me a couple minutes.
The county doesn't mind helping in town.
Yeah,
What district is it?
that's,
Wayne Gun. I know it.
yeah.
So what's happening is the water under this last pretty quick heavy rain is roaring through that pipe.
Where is that?
So right in front of the water department,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we replaced the culvert down, we got the flow going, so it's so great, and I was even the lady proper up, it's going through, so.
so in reference to that, down Main Street, basically across from where the sign says road closed,
Mm-hmm.
on the left-hand side, there's a culvert that goes underneath the road right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it brings a tremendous amount of water, south, under the road. It is slap eating this guy's, property away. And it's very, very close now to the foundation of his actual garage.
Yeah, I don't know, if that's state,
Is there a state guy that I could ask to determine whether it's them or us?
Yeah, Leon.
Ask Leon?
Can we, do something together to fix the problem? I don't know how that works, but it's a sticky situation on that one. I just can't.
and that's fine, cause he just reminded, the owner just reminded me of it, and, I went and looked at it. And, that problem is so, like so many others,
Yeah.
the ditch itself is so clogged up that it's not flowing as good as you would like. It's simply just, eating that corner out, just like at that lady's house.
Yeah.
Alright. Are your water loss numbers about the same?
The reason why I don't have a water report tonight, because I noticed that our billing in my report is not matching. So say for instance, we like was a month difference, which ain't a big deal to some, but to me, I wanna get it precise as possible. But right now, the month of January, we produced 13 million gallons, 13,192,600 gallons. That water hasn't been sold yet, so if I would've calculated some numbers, it would give you a false number. But in the month of, the March 1st bill will be the January usage that's been sold. So next board meeting, I will have a January report. Wow, but I got how much we produced, but we haven't sold that water yet. So the report will kind of run like a month behind.
Alright. But I mean, in your opinion, would you say it's about the same as it's been?
I can't say that.
Alright, how many meters? Handful?
I say 20. Yeah, another thing, we lost a member of the utility department, so we down to 3 people. And, like I say, the 3 people we have, we all operators. So we doing maintenance on water, sewer, and gas. And I have the town water plant to run. James has the prison, Jeremy has the prison water, wastewater, and the town wastewater. So we running pretty thin in here, you know, so.
Why we lost that one?
Pay. Derek Brown. He has been with us probably close to 3 years, you know. He was pretty dependable person, you know, long time, you know, trustworthy, you never worried about him taking nothing, but.
Was y'all make like $12 an hour?
Yeah, 12.50.
So we did talk about that in the office, that you definitely need at least 1 or 2 people.
We were great.
Okay.
Yeah, cause actually, Don Ray was the street department superintendent, but he also had wastewater license, so. Now you got Jeremy doing that, and plus he on part of the utility department team. So, we really need at least 3 more people, really.
Derek got enough job?
2 we lovely, but.
Derek got enough job?
So that you need to look at your budget to see if it allows for the hiring of individuals.
Pretty much.
And the board needs to come up with a starting salary for that individual based on what that individual does.
Well, I've been screaming this for years. When you talking about utility and street, it's a whole different ball game. Yeah, you know, I know it's about, yeah, and that's another reason we left him. We lost him because, you know, he got to deal with poop every day, and that was one of his main things, go check the lift station. And he looking at the other departments. I'm not getting into that. So, but anyway.
So would you be open to a couple of part-time people?
No.
Okay, you don't want, not even go there. Okay. I'm just saying, if someone was available part-time that you liked them enough, so we're trying to cover some of the need.
Excuse me, lack of qualified.
Well,
Words make a lot of difference.
he might be qualified, but I need him to be able to work with Trail and the others. Okay, I was just checking to see if that would open up.
Right now, I'll probably take anything.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any more questions for him?
Trey, years ago, back when they had the satellite, I think I remember some of the inmates was, operators. I used to see them operating some tractors and stuff around there. probably 15, 20 years ago.
Probably so, but what they got down there now,
Cause I know with the county,
yeah, back then they had some pretty, they had some with county, you know.
one of them was in a junior school also.
Yeah. But we're gonna keep pushing forward.
All right, we appreciate it.
Y'all have a good night.
All right. You gave Jeremy a report too, I guess.
Yeah, he had nothing major. He told me, nothing major.
Clint? He must have left. Main Street's been done, Patrick. Chief?
Good afternoon again. I did look at my budget, I don't have it, but I do need about 20 officers. I just wanna throw that out there. Want to inform you, I received a letter from the Department of Public Safety about House Bill 1222, which was passed during the legislature, session of 2023. That requires all law enforcement, municipal and county, to take the crisis intervention training, and it must be completed by July 1st of 2025.
You said first responders, or could you repeat that?
It requires all municipal law enforcement officers and county deputy sheriffs to have crisis intervention training by July 1st, 2025.
Do they come to you or do you go to them?
It depends, if we can host it, they'll come down, if we have enough people, if not, they'll probably be in Pearl or Harrisburg.
Is there a cost per person?
No, this, it doesn't stay in the House bill, but I'll get with the Department of Public Safety on such, I'm pretty sure, a minimum to be traveled just to go. In addition to that, though, it also, in the same House bill, requires officers to receive training for mental health first aid for public safety.
Either one of those online?
No, sir.
Are you looking for board approval to participate in that?
No, I mean, we're gonna have to do it regardless. I just let you all know that is the House bill, it's a mandate, so it'll have to be done.
Is it, how many times a year is it held?
This is something new. I have no information on it whatsoever, other than we'll be responding to, crisis situations. And we mixed it with mental health. They're trying to do this thing now, which I totally disagree with it, because we're police officers and not psychiatrists and so forth. But they're supposed to help us be able to deal with individuals who are going through a mental crisis.
All right, what else you got?
Want to inform the board, I have been watching my budget closely, but we're still having issues with vehicle repairs, so we're already over budgeted on it, $200, if I'm not mistaken. But these vehicles need some repairs to them. Myself and Assistant Chief Dennis have looked at moving money from other places, and it's just not working. I was looking at removing it from some of our training, but when I got this letter from the Department of Public Safety, in addition to other classes that we will have scheduled throughout this year, I just don't see us moving anything from there.
You presented this, right? Go ahead.
Also, I believe it's been rectified, but I want the entire board to know about this issue, with the sidewalk back here in this back, that's been we had some damages. As long, I think you got some pictures up there, I didn't make copies of everybody, but if they wanna look at them. I'm not sure that's something that we need to take care of immediately, because that whole slab is starting to lean now. I'm not asking for any reimbursement, I got a chunk in my personal vehicle. I'm gonna get it taken care of, I got the pictures of you all need to see, but it comes from right there. Which I take full responsibility for, I came in that way, I just forgot about it, and that's the way I came in.
Is it a parking lot or the
Yeah,
side?
it's the parking
It's
lot.
not a sidewalk, like where you go.
It's the curve
It's
and
the
over
curb
there.
coming in the back of the.
It's probably the result of the trash truck. That would be the heavy vehicle that would have been regularly going back there. And, we resolved the trash vehicle going back there, but the curb has already been broken. I would imagine that we could probably talk to Waste Management and ask them if they'd help us with that. Otherwise, it may end up being our responsibility.
Steve, he gonna take care of the problem back here,
Okay,
I'm gonna take care of the problem up here.
perfect.
And if he
No.
can't, if he drops the ball, I'm gonna pick the side, curve up.
Perfect. That was the next thing I had about the shingles on the roof.
I got that.
Gotcha.
How old's the building?
06,
18 years?
I don't know, y'all figured up that plaques out there.
Yeah, it can.
I talked to this person about it.
Sadly, you just about got your life expectancy out of a cheap roof.
How do you know it's a cheap roof?
When,
We're not gonna fight for this.
no, when,
Cause you know where I stand on this issue.
I'm just saying, it was contracted out for the minimum bid and we skipped a couple of things. But 18 years to date, we're pretty far into the life expectancy of the shingles. So you say you're missing some?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's probably obvious, you can look up there and see them.
No, when it had that hard freeze, and it rained, I was actually standing right outside this door and they just started sliding down. And my mistake was not photographing before I threw them on there. There's still two pieces right there outside this door now though. I didn't see anything that fell down on either side or the back, but it definitely came down on the front.
Well, your gutters are leaking, and that's why it's leaking back into the building and onto the soffit. And you look at most gutter seams, the soffit is rotten
Right.
behind the gutter seam. I know it's over here,
And over here.
yeah, so it's in a couple of different spots. So,
Let's get the roof fixed first. Then we'll fix it, that other problem.
all right,
I'm asking for approval to, for February 21st and 22nd. I'm up for master qualification for firearms, in Hattiesburg at the Southern Regional Public Safety Institute, which would be at no cost to the town whatsoever, to keep my certification active, as our police department's firearms instructor.
so as a board, can we make a motion to approve, what we're gonna approve your travel?
Yes, sir, my hotel and everything else will be paid for.
When is it cheap?
February 21st and 22nd.
Is that one of those things when they pay for it and get reimbursed?
No, sir, this is, I'm paying this out of pocket.
Okay.
So,
A second.
Okay,
Just do it for the whole thing. Number 6 at the bottom. Travel.
when's your conference, midsummer?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have another date?
No, sir, I haven't even received the, email yet from the chief association.
Delaney, can we incorporate both of these together?
yes, ma'am.
All right, so,
And we're taking care of all the travel?
we're taking care of the chief's, conference travel and this firearms, certification class.
I got another travel also.
How was that?
for March fourth through the seventh in Pearl, Mississippi, from myself and Officer Patrick Harris for sex trafficking investigator.
What's the name of it again?
The, sex trafficking investigator course by the Attorney General's office.
What part of that's taken care of or reimbursed?
Where?
In Pearl, Mississippi. No.
Do you have any numbers at all in reference to that?
Patrick Harris.
On the call. The class itself will be free.
Okay.
We'll need, hotel.
All right.
Unless y'all want us to drive back each day.
Do you know when your summer conference is?
No, sir.
Okay, let's wait on that. On another day.
Do we need to rescind that first motion and incorporate all three of them together?
No, he doesn't even know what his summer conference is, so let's wait.
Okay, we're gonna wait on the chief's conference?
Yeah, so I've got firearms and the sex trafficking.
Okay. So, we need to make a motion in reference to approval for those two.
And only one.
I've got this mailing order on the first round, so we just, all need to vote.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Oh, we take care of all the travel right now. Can, if you got more travelers.
He's talking about, are we taking care of those two?
Yeah, he said that he got other travel too. Yeah.
There's two travels for him that we need to make a motion on.
All right, if you got more travel, you better do it. Done it. Yeah, you got any travel for the summer?
Well, I have my class and last year we did ML, so I don't know if the board will approve it this year or not.
We've got a long way before the summer. Delaney, do you happen to know when the chief's conference is?
We can't add him in there?
What's that?
They don't know, they don't know.
We don't have any of the particulars.
Judge, when is your conference coming up?
He doesn't know.
Judge, you don't know
It
your?
is June 16th, chief is June 16th through the 22nd.
We have a first and a second and a vote on travel for the chief on the 21st and 22nd. Where's that to?
I said, the chief's conference, the summer conference is June 16th through the 22nd.
What month?
June,
The dates?
the 16th through the 22nd,
Where?
Biloxi.
All right, what I'm saying is we have a first and a second and a vote for chief travel February 21st and 22nd.
Firearms and truck, that's right.
Yeah, so that's done. Now, we can cover the March, travel right now, which is for him and Patrick to Pearl, the 4th through the 7th of March, sex trafficking, education class.
Chief summer conference in Biloxi.
We're gonna wait, we're gonna cover these two right quick. Because we've got MML conference, it's in June or July.
June,
We could vote on that next month. When we get some particulars and some dates. So would someone like to make a motion in reference to the,
You got a motion? All need to vote.
say again?
All need to vote, I think you just voted on it too.
The first one they did, but we don't have a motion and a vote on the second.
Yeah, so, in reference to the sex trafficking class for the chief and, I think you said Officer Harrison, in Pearl, March 4th through 7th. Can we make a motion to approve that?
second.
Okay, got a first and a second, all in favor, say aye.
I'm gonna lump them all together, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
So we're gonna vote on the summer travel next month?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Well, we're just gonna get some more dates, particulars, and who's going and so forth. All right? Chief, what else you got?
Last thing, I believe you all have a copy of the number of citations that we used for the month of January. You also have the, clerk on number of the amount for fines collected. I don't have a copy here with me, but that's it. So, I think it was like 75 pieces. No, but it was like 20 something.
So-
$7,000 worth.
Right.
I think it collected $200.
I walked in the meeting late, and when Mr. Pepperell was up talking, he was talking about over in Amite County or somewhere that they locked up some people for some fines
Yes, sir.
and told them they couldn't get out until they paid the fine.
Right.
Is that something?
It can be done, but you have to be careful. Every judge, they have to all go by too. You can tell a person, right now, put somebody in jail for to pay a ticket.
I didn't understand what Mr. Pepperell was talking about.
Right, you can tell them, but you need to look at the number of days you can jail them versus what they owe. Or you just put them in jail and feed them, and pay $30 a day, 35, and have them there for the whole month, and they only see $200, and you pay $3,600 to feed them. So you have to look at the.
I just can't even tell.
What I sometimes hear is, the reasoning, they say, I just don't have any money. What does that mean? I mean, in reference to, anyone can claim that. Okay, so you don't have any money. What's the next step?
Well, you need to determine if they're indigent or not, which means do they have the funds, do they have a job, do they get a social security check, disability, whatever, and that's pretty much left up to the judge, that's like the judge's discretion on if they need to pay it all, noted, however, but if you look at the numbers of citations that was issued and the amount versus what was collected, you basically left with $6,000 unpaid. We do that for the next 12 months, you're looking at $72,000 of debt that you're gonna put on top of this $700,000 that's allegedly out there. But then we'll be back here next January.
Well, Tawana, what's the percentage of money you think you're gonna collect out of the 7,000? What's the typical percentage? Half?
No, but how to tell people, but maybe.
Okay. Well, I know that I certainly appreciate this extra effort. I mean, $7,000, Lord have mercy, imagine if we collected it all. So, I know I appreciate that. Y'all being there, whether it's child restraint, it looks like stop sign and driver's license, insurance, all that stuff, so I appreciate it very much. What else you got?
The last thing is, you all may have heard, we're working a death investigation, that occurred yesterday on F.J. Johnson Street, here in Woodville. We're halfway through with the investigation. We had to get the crime team in yesterday from Biloxi. That's our closest, responsible. They cover 43 counties, and we have to be one of them. Very chaotic scene, and I already understand and know there's no funds. We all know that. You got one officer working, there were firearms involved in this incident, narcotics. It's dispersed in different people's yard. It was big chaos yesterday. I was in court. Thankfully, several police department was also in court, to where they were able to go in and assist the initial responding officer, but I was still tied up testifying. We worked 15 straight hours yesterday on completely. Very tragic event that happened. And it's real premature, but through on what we do know so far, there'll probably be more. There's probably more complaints. face everybody tell you, it don't matter if I'm the chief, or one of you are the chief, you gonna have crime. You ain't gonna stop it, that's life. We do the best we can with one officer on duty at all times. I served as that second officer. But like yesterday, I was on the way. Don't panic, don't get upset because it's not going the way it should go. It's, as they say, it's Woodville. Nothing's gonna change until we get some funds. And how we're gonna get them, I have no idea. I don't have all the answers. But like Brother Trippin said earlier, we come together and figure it out, and we can do something. But we need public help too. A lot of people don't like to talk. Yesterday, nobody wanted to talk. And it just depended on some strong police work. And I thank God for the officers that were there, who were able to determine where these items were misplaced and actually work this case with me not present half of the time. Just work with us. We're doing the best we can. It was kind of embarrassing. We have no evidence collection kits, couldn't rope off crime scene, anything, because it's money that we don't have. We're trying to move stuff to fix something else. I'm just putting it out there. I know y'all don't have the answers either, but I think we need to get together. We've supposed to have a staff meeting the last 2 years, and I don't think we can staff yet as a whole. The police department, we have our monthly meetings, but we need to get together and figure something out. If all of us put our head together, we can come up with something. I know. And that's pretty much all I have.
Thank you all for the help fair.
Yes, ma'am.
More of that, because it was really great.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for coming. Yes, sir.
Go on.
January court, the monthly report, and the total collected was 1531.15. Assessment, state assessment was 199. Deposit to the bank was 1352.15. And we collected $487.25 for delinquent fines. I have collected some of the money on the tickets. Hopefully before court, I should have some, because I do big calls, and normally the day over at Friday, and people so late. So we all expect this more money.
You are what?
We expecting some more money.
All right. Does anyone have any, questions for Ms. Walker? All right, appreciate it very much. Elaine?
Two things I have. First is a resolution from emergency management. It's a resolution adopting the District 7, regional hazard mitigation plan, which if anyone wants to view it, if you can view it at the county or the city has made power for it. I'll read it. It says, whereas various natural hazards have the potential for causing devastating harm and loss of life and property for the citizens and town of Woodville, and will continue to do so. Whereas implementation of hazard mitigation policies and strategies can protect the citizens and significantly reduce the loss of life and property from natural hazards, and whereas a concentrated effort should be made to address hazard mitigation in our respective policies and programs. And whereas hazard mitigation goals and objectives can be effectively developed through participation in the development of a regional mitigation plan. Now therefore, we, the mayor, board of aldermen, and town of Woodville, do hereby resolve to adopt the District 7 Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan, and it is to be signed by the mayor.
We need a motion to adopt it.
Yes.
If we can we get a motion to adopt, the hazard mitigation plan?
So moved.
Is there a second? Gene? All in favor, say aye.
Who's that?
Aye.
Just make a motion, so I call Ms. Francis. Do us be quiet. Let's have a shout out.
Okay.
And the second thing I have is in reference to the cemetery. I know, Mr. Long came before the board a few months ago and asked, because they have difficulty locating graves. If they have a clue for, Mr. Northern Thompson to locate the graves, since he digs most of the graves. And the board agreed, but since that time, Mr. Thompson has, declined to assist in locating the graves. And one of the major issues that Mr. Long is facing are people burying, but they're not putting in headstones. Headstones is required in the agreement that they signed, but they're not following through. So the recommendation is to, current, price of a lot is $750 per lot, is to increase that about, enough to cover the cost of a headstone if the person has not placed a headstone within a year. If they get a headstone within a year, then that excess money will be given back to them. If they don't get a headstone within a year, then the town will be responsible for getting a headstone for that particular lot.
If you're looking for a motion to increase it to what?
It's $750, so $850.
$100 will buy it.
No, I don't really think $850.
1,500?
For 600, yeah. I would say, headstone cost at least $600.
Right, so you're saying you wanna raise it to $1,500?
Yes. And the plots are, you can go down a plot joint, but pay it all at once, you can, pay $250 down, $100 a month until you pay it out, unless you have to use it, if you have to use it, you have to pay for it full.
Okay, so in reference to that, we need a motion that, agrees to raise,
Is this in all city cemeteries, or just one?
It's just one, cause the rest of them full.
Yeah, we're not selling nowhere, but the new one, Greenwood.
This is in Greenwood.
Right.
Okay, since you would raise it to that, you said because they're not getting the headstones, and this is in the event that the town has to pay for the headstone. Okay, if they have that amount of time to pay for it, could they just be sent notification prior to that? And then if they do not, then they'll charge this amount, rather than charging that amount in the first place?
If you bury somebody, if they have.
I'm not asking if they bury somebody,
No,
we're not dealing on what else, we're just
No.
saying, you know, if
That's not
the
your
economy,
mind.
the economy is at a down, if nobody has that kind of money. So, you know, you're trying to save people more so than just try to take money.
That would not be a wise thing, because if a person's already used that plot, you have no recourse making sure they pay that amount.
Okay, yes, you do, because you're giving them in 30 days, letting them know that this money is due.
So how you gonna make them pay it?
If you make them pay it and they got the headstone, you know,
You make them pay, they got the
you
headstone.
gonna give them money back?
Yes, ma'am.
You gonna give them money back?
Yes, ma'am.
In fact, I would suggest leave this cost to about the same, and call it a deposit, just call it a separate headstone deposit. And that way you account for it separately.
Right. So that they get that money, if they get their headstone, they get their money back for the headstone.
It's like how they put a water meter deposit, there's a headstone deposit. How much do you need for headstone deposit?
$600.
How much is the purchase price?
$750.
all right, so we need a motion upon the sale of a cemetery plot to collect an additional $600 refundable as a headstone deposit.
You gonna clean it up? Okay.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
It's 1350, right? Louis made the motion, second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
What's on the motion?
$750 for the plot, $600 deposit for the headstone. If you put one in within a year, you get the $600 back. If you don't, the town's gonna buy a headstone with that $600.
Gotta pay it all at one time, or
Nope.
you got a year to pay for it?
Unless you pass and it's due immediately.
You can not out a cemetery plot, you pay $250 down, $100 a month. Currently, you can not out a plot.
Well, maybe do some like a contract, and if they don't pay, I mean, do a contract, sign a contract, and if they don't pay within, then they, charge another $650 or $750 or whatever.
So if you don't use that plot, maybe make the person pay.
If you did sign a contract, that they would have to pay that, I won't send them a bill.
You still got tickets they ain't paid for, so if they don't use that plot, you're not gonna get that money, they have to pay.
That's right.
You don't see any funeral records in all that. Up front too.
Well, we had a first and a second. Was there a vote?
We're still discussing.
Okay. All in favor?
I'll vote to it, though, and yeah, warm it up.
I don't think I have anything else, just a reminder for now for new business, the cutoff for the water policy. People still asking about the schedule, you know, put in the papers to Louis, bills are due on the
Right,
second.
no, okay, man, tell me about it.
Okay.
I'll make sure it's down, like, once you get to the last name, I'll give you.
Okay.
This week we get it in, before the end of the week we get it in.
Okay, I think that's all I have, unless you all have something for me.
Yes, same person that called, I think I mentioned it before, about unauthorized personnel behind the counter. So, I did not know what to tell her because I don't know who is behind the counter. I don't know who she sees when she comes in. But I'd like to make a motion that no unauthorized personnel be allowed behind the counter at town hall, and post, notification and such.
You said personnel or just people?
People, unauthorized personnel, people
Personnel doesn't sound like to me that that's
unauthorized.
town employees, personnel.
They would be authorized personnel. Unauthorized would be,
Me. I've been going around it for years.
you need to stop.
So we have a motion. Is there a second? Move was made second. All in favor, say aye. All right.
Everybody vote? Okay.
Delaney, is that it? All right, thank you so much.
No, also, that person that called about the flexes, did you check on?
I've been checking on, I asked, cause I don't know where the area is, I asked Mr. Foster to go and look and see, and he said it needs to be signed, but I don't know.
He said, that when the person that came, he said reflected because of the dark going around.
And I heard, I don't know if you've seen this, I was driving a curb, I guess I'm gonna look for myself, and it has like the stakes with the reflectors that go all the way around the curb. Is that an area that can
It
go
could
in?
be, I don't know, they just said, they came by the house and said that, there should be some reflectors going around because it's not that much light.
Okay, maybe I'll look at the area myself. And see.
Okay.
But I did ask Mr. Foster to look at it.
Okay, you said Mr. Thompson was no longer.
He said he's not gonna locate, digging was
Okay, but is he still on contract to be used for street work or whatever?
He's still on contract, I mean, that was still up to him, however, if he chooses to or not.
He's on a contract, but he's not working them.
He just gonna work as needed?
No,
Every
he-
day?
No, he works
No work?
at his own will, put it like that, you know.
Not at all. Not at all.
So, the cemetery needs to have somebody to find the plot, so.
Well, will he locate him if he's the one digging the grave?
He's not messing with them.
He say he don't want nothing else to do with it.
I mean, how's he gonna dig the grave if you don't know where?
You see, he'll get him.
But he's not located, exactly.
We got Sammy, the last grave. We ain't Sammy's grave.
And the family was responsible for paying
You know,
him, that's what
he
he's
say he
saying,
don't do it.
Mine was another question, you know, they asked him about, I think, Mr. Cochran was supposed to be with him to look at, the ditches, I think, on Natchez North, or whatever, but no one, ever said they got together with him to talk about that, and look at. And with all the rain, is filled up, so. That was back in, I think, June of last year, when we said that, I think it was when we talked about the Thomas, driveway, whatever, and then asked, you know, to give Mr. Thompson, since he was as needed, to talk about doing those, clearing those ditches or whatever, in the street. So nobody never said anything, whether they talked to him or whatever.
Oh, okay. I'm not even sure. Did you say right with Harper's house?
No, it just, actually, it's just all over here, because with the rain, it just,
Okay.
that was that, I didn't know if Mr. Boswell ever got with Mr. Thompson or not. Nothing was ever said.
So this is-
Because Wes was, hired to work in these cemeteries and to locate these plots, does he need to be shown how to, I mean, he accepted the pay to take that job also. Does he need to be shown how to do it, work with the guy that's,
Yeah,
doing it?
yeah,
Okay. I'll be happy to mention that to him.
okay.
Who's it?
Charles West.
He was gone in December.
Is that all?
All right, so we'll move on to some unfinished business in reference to, I think,
Not gonna go up there, but on those ditches, I was attempting to get them dug out. Mr. Long say, we just can't go there and dig them out. You don't know whether they got gas lines under that or water line, they got to find that. Now you got some ditches that we can get the water truck, we can bust them open. Like the ones I'm saying on Natchez Street. I know two of them for sure that stopped up with mud and dirt, and that's the only way you gonna get them loose. Unless you just had the whole, pipe system up and put new ones down there. But we just can't go there and dig them up, because like I say, you don't know whether you got a gas line, water line, or whether an electric line, and he have to test that to make sure before we even get in that way.
I use the term digging because that's the only term I know about. Whatever it means, that's the term.
you're saying you could make some effort with the water?
Yeah, and with the water truck, if you got enough pressure on it, we can bust them open. I know a couple of them we can bust open, one on Natchez Street, and you got one right here in front of the old, what is that, old ice house. The other one right there in front of the East Allen house, they stopped up with nothing but mud. That's why the water come across the street there. Yeah. It's not.
They cleaned that out one time.
Huh?
They cleaned that out one time in Denise Island.
But it's stopped up again, cause that whole road from our house all the way down past the ice house, you got just about underwater. See what we do, we try to, the rain coming in, we try to get out there, open up all of the drains before the rain get in, and then sometimes we still have to get out there in the rain and open them up.
One thing is, it's in good shape, one.
Yeah.
It ain't like it's been stopped up and else.
No, it's not, I'm not saying that, I know it's solid mud in there now. Yeah.
What's it take to operate a water truck?
$2 million, and it's $2 million in the trailer, one for the driver and one for the hose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who do you work with that knows how to operate it?
I can operate the water truck.
Okay.
I just need to drive.
Okay.
You see, then I just can't go get it from Mr. Long, cause I never know what I had to get with him, cause I don't never know what he got going on. Yeah, you see, he all over.
All right. Did you have something else, Bro?
Oh, I got some, visitors here we need to take care of right quick.
Okay. We can come back to unfinished business. Are you mentioning engineering resource group?
Yes, sir.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, I'm Chad Moore with Engineering Resource Group. Our firm has been hired by the State Department of Finance and Administration to do address some gas repairs at Wilkinson County Correctional Facility. And just to kind of bring you guys up to speed, there's a bit of an emergency situation there where their existing synthetic natural gas system that serves heating and cooking appliances there on the facility is starting to fail, particularly when it gets into cold conditions. And we really need to upgrade that system. And we have two options. One is to get natural gas from the city, bring a natural gas line to the site, or convert the whole facility to propane. And I think that, and I don't want to speak for the correctional facility, I think the warden can do that in a moment, but I think it's the state's preference to have natural gas served from the city. The only caveat is the city cannot pay for off-site services. They cannot pay for work performed outside of the boundary of the site, which is Wilkinson County Correctional Facility site. So what we would need is for you guys to bring the gas line to the facility, serve natural gas, and then whatever cost incurred as part of that be, provided in a transportation fee or some kind of fee for that. Just to give you guys an idea of what kind of revenue that is. Right now, the facility's paying on average about $18,000 a month for propane in their synthetic natural gas facility. We can provide those numbers to your city engineer for them to do their analysis and to see what kind of revenue that would have for you guys. And helping you make an informed decision on the viability of that for you guys. But time is kind of the essence for the state. Like I mentioned, it's kind of an emergency situation. They've had to take down the synthetic system, and they're actually renting heaters, if you can imagine, for this entire facility right now. So we know nothing's going to be in place for this heating season, but we're looking towards the end of this year when the heating season comes back. We need to have a permanent solution in place so that we can serve the facility in an economical manner. So really the question I think that we have is it an option for the city to provide gas under that agreement, to bring the gas to the site and then have the facility pay for that over time? Or otherwise, they're going to make the decision to just convert to propane, and then they'll just have a propane provider, at that point.
Have you ever heard of any grants available for a city to run gas lines for the government to help give them?
I have not, but that's really outside of my area of expertise. I'm sure there's some of that out there, but I'm not personally familiar.
So
This is an area that I deal with quite a bit. Grants are not things they do for gas because it makes a lot of money. It's a revenue maker for a city, and so they typically don't. There are a few grants, but not in the time frame that he's looking at.
Okay.
It would be something, the transportation fee that he's mentioning would go on top of the gas fee.
when you're talking and dealings, have you estimated what it would cost to run a line out there? You don't have to say it, but I mean.
Well, so I have figures based on different size pipes.
Right, so,
The quantity that they're talking about running for roughly $18,000 that they're spending now, it's gonna be either a 4-inch or 6-inch main. So it's gonna be under, I know it's always a big number, but it's definitely gonna be under $1 million. I just don't know how far over. It might be a half, it might be a little more, a little less. It just depends on what the cost is at the time we start doing it, and what size line, and how many valves you want to put. I know that I've talked to people going up 61 that want to get on as well. There's some services you'll pick up as you go that way. So
do we have the capacity?
from what I can tell, you definitely have the capacity.
So that wouldn't negatively affect who we got on the line right now?
It would be your largest customer, probably about 50%, we think. It would be and a gas line, the life of a gas line in 2045, you'll still be getting that click every month. It's a really good prospect monetarily for the town.
So it crosses through the county. What does the county have? What do they have to gain by?
The county really doesn't have anything. It'll stay in the public right of way, or it's possible you get on private right of way that might make it a little cheaper to do. You could get some right of way agreements, servitude agreements with landowners, and you can trench something in a little easier and faster, which would make the cost go down. I would guess, I mean, you're talking about 3.5 miles, I believe, from where your tie-in place is. So we usually figure, if it's a 4-inch main, you're usually figuring about $15 to $20 a foot, depending on terrain, just open lay. And then if it's a 6-inch, it's $30 to $35 a foot. It's a big bite on the front end, but if it can be worked out between the engineer and the state, there's language that we don't deal with every day that if the transportation fee can help expedite paying for it, it would be something that would be a boon. I just wish Mr. Wetland were here. He was talking about we don't have any money and we don't have any prospect. And I was waiting for him so I could say, we do have prospects.
What would it take you to do it? 3 months? 2 months?
We would be well in advance. And so, as a contractor, it would probably have to go through a public bid process, and we would bid on it, and I'd love to do it. But I don't think it would be something that we would do just write a check. I don't think we could do that.
No.
But it would be a 3 to 4 month process to do the project. It'll take a little time in design, and they kind of need to know something. From what I understand, they need to know something soon because they need to have a plan for next winter. So you're looking at a 6 to 7 month process total, is what I would think. And we can lay that gas line fast through there. It's not a bad lay. So to me, it's something that I've thought about for the town for years. In fact, I had mentioned it to Warden Benoit over a year ago and said, we know Charles knows this system that they're working on now. It wasn't going to last forever. It was an expensive, bad design to start with, and it was something that until it became an urgent need, nobody wants to fix it till it's broken.
So, I mean, I'm in 100% a favor of what it would take to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We need to figure out if the others are in agreement, how do we do it? Not necessarily how we dig it and how you make pipe connections, where we secure the funding under a contract that, someone would give us the money.
My suggestion, as a contractor that I see, somebody from the town needs to be a point with their engineer and say, we want to push this fast and find out what it is, if it's viable, which I believe it is, if it's, what the time frame is, what the cost is. Once you have those ideas and figures, he'll also have the figures of what it's costing the facility now. You can see real quick, within the next month, you can see whether it's a good idea or not. And the engineer, typically the engineer that works for y'all in Jackson knows the engineer from the state. They'll talk back and forth and work out all the numbers, like the transportation fee that was discussed earlier. I don't know exactly how that works, because I don't do that part every day. But I would think that they could give you a real good proposal within the next month before next meeting. And it would give you a really good idea of what it was gonna cost, how to fund it, how it's gonna be, helped from the state, and how to make it go forward. I believe it's a great opportunity for the town. And I think it's really good for the prison as well, because it's the best, and over time, as the town sees the coffers, the money keep coming in the coffers, the prison's also gonna see a decrease in cost, because they're not having to deal with propane, which is much less efficient. So I think it's a win-win, on all fronts. The only thing that nobody likes to hear is, we need to make a decision quickly. And that's the part that nobody really wants to hear, because you kind of want to mull things over. But I think with the expertise of the town engineer and Chad here, I think you can have real good numbers by your next meeting, and I think you can have a good understanding of the benefit this would be for the town.
So is Engineering Resource Group a private company, or are you a state company?
I'm a private company contracted with the state.
I see.
He would not be your engineer. Your town engineer would be your engineer. He's got the BTUs, the information on their side, and it needs to be translated to an engineer. Usually I like to say the only numbers we understand at the end are ones that have dollar signs in front of them, and that's generally the way I see it, you know. That's the best way to understand it.
So what we'll do is provide all the consumption information, the last couple of years of consumption from the facility to your engineer for them to review. They can crunch the numbers and give you guys kind of an economic report of what the economics would be for this project. And I think that we can do that immediately, start working with these guys, and hopefully have enough information back to you guys so you can make an informed decision.
Well, the decision, obviously, is not gonna happen tonight, except I would like to move forward quickly with another information gathering meeting with the board and anyone else involved who can provide, a little bit more in-depth information. Of course, Mr. Rosenblatt, everyone really associated with it.
I'll talk back there.
Because this, I agree, not knowing all the facts, I would hate to miss out on the opportunity. We already have our gas here, and continuing a working relationship with the prison up there, even though it's in the county, is something I'm in favor of. I think once these numbers are presented, I think the prison wants it done. I think they want to work with the town. I don't see any reason that we can't talk to the right people, where it'd be a good investment on their part, our part, and your part. So let's take the steps to do what it takes to get another meeting together, so we can really start kind of talking about some times and numbers and payment plans and other catchphrases, I guess you were talking about.
And I'll volunteer to be a part of any of those meetings, and in dealing with the town utilities, anytime the men have questions or needs, I'm always available, and I'm available to the board as well to try to help you through all your utility questions, because that's just something we do, and we're here, and we're residents, and we just want to be helpful when we can.
Well, and I'm not sure that we'd even be at this stage right now if you hadn't gone to the meeting the other week. So, certainly thank you for doing that.
Sure.
All right. Well, I think we all appreciate the opportunity to look at it.
I think just from the state's perspective is, to make a decision, a timely decision, that we'll work with you guys to provide as much information as you need. And then, is it reasonable that a decision could be made by next board meeting?
I would say if we could get together, and it really what's gonna matter is, you know, are we gonna be able to get a loan? Are we gonna, you know, what of course is the interest rate, what's the return on our thing, how long is that gonna take to pay back? You know, if we're doing a 1% return on the investment, I mean, you know, we would like to get paid for the effort. So, let's do what it takes to put gas up there at the prison, and, we're down to profit a little bit, and pay our bills. And pay whoever puts it in.
But for me, reporting back to the state, I'll say that the town will make an effort to see if this is a viable project. And probably by the next board meeting in March, we'll have a decision on whether it's viable or not. Maybe not, you know, all the funding's in place and all that, but you'll probably have at least enough information to say it's a go or no go type of thing. Or it's a possibility, or it's just out of the realm of possibility.
Right, so let's sooner than later, let's try to get our heads together, everyone involved. I think you got some things to do on your end. We'll try to reach out to engineering services, that's the name of our guy, isn't it? And see if he wants to be included or in the discussion. And,
He needs to be, and I've reached out to him and he is interested.
Okay.
I talked to him a year ago, to let him know that I thought that was a great idea, so.
okay.
So he would be, I'm gonna let him know when we leave.
Did you spoke with Greg?
I speak to Morgan.
Okay.
Morgan usually comes down.
Okay. All right, well, we held you up a little bit. You probably got a long drive back somewhere, but we certainly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Was there anybody else, Joe?
No. The cemetery again, case, we had nowhere right now, someone gonna come by a plot tomorrow.
Someone wants to come buy one tomorrow?
I'm just saying, if
Right,
someone,
so you're saying if someone
Yeah.
wants to buy one tomorrow,
we don't have nobody to find it.
I mean, we paid Sammy to do the last one.
Okay.
I mean, he came in and he located it,
I don't know, did y'all pay him? I don't know. They pay him, okay,
He gonna get paid.
okay,
Yeah, he's paid.
okay. I just wanna make sure, cause I don't wanna make the call, you know.
We need to discuss that.
Okay.
could you, if you don't mind, because I don't know, are the plots marked with a stake, a curb? How was it originally laid out?
They got nails, with a little pink flag on it.
That's been buried?
Yeah, you found it with the, metal detector, which we always had one, but, cause we had to find valves. But it's so complex, especially when there's no headstone there. You got people buried there. It's not, they're not sold in a family plot like it is in the other cemetery. You got singles. You got 6 people buried there with no headstone.
All right, so you have a metal detector?
Yeah, the town does.
Lewis, is there another one in your building? Okay, that's the same one?
Same one, we don't have the one.
Okay. Does that one work pretty good?
It's pretty good.
Okay. Would it be advantageous to go back and remark some of these big areas where these nails are supposed to be?
Yeah, when Nolan was here, he kinda, got some, really look good, you can't see them stainless steel markers. Before he left, he kinda did it so everyone have a better understanding, but that's just on the corners. When you start going in turn, it's all about measurement. It's all about measuring your 4-foot walkway. Some parts of it got 2-foot, 4-foot walkways, one way. Another part of it got 4-foot walkways, horizontal and diagonal. So you got to measure all that to find that nail. I'm talking about he was pretty good at it, and with our help, he was still sometimes take us out to get it right, you know, it just.
Okay.
And we talked about it, those bushes, you know, going down because customers are complaining. You know, they go out there and they, last week when it was some plants or trees, something fell on the grave. She said somebody did something.
Are you talking about the trees to the edge of the cemetery that are all growing into the cemetery?
It's going straight.
So our cemetery maintenance crew is not gonna mess with that, Lewis? I know, I'm saying, Lewis, when we get some inmate help, we need to push back a significant, substantial amount of limbs that are growing into the cemetery, and we've lost, we've probably lost 15 to 20 plots, because the tree line and the limb line has come into the cemetery.
Right.
And we obviously need to cut it back. I would be more than happy to go over there and look at it. All right.
And I'll take that, tractor and push motion of them out the way. And then you have to get it cut.
You'll see what I'm talking about when we go over there.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna move on to some unfinished business?
Can I get the floor?
Sure.
I wanna revisit this, I wanna make a motion. Curtail all overtime. And let the mayor approve overtime. Cause I've talked to the clerk several times, and our overtime is rampant. I'll make the motion, can I get a second?
I'll second.
What is your motion?
Curtail overtime. Let the mayor position
Prior approval?
approve, prior approval on overtime. We gotta get a handle on it.
What about emergency? What if can you touch them?
You get in touch, they get in touch with somebody. Mayor pro tem, somebody.
All right,
Motion and a second.
well, we do have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
No.
I got 2 noes, 2 yeas.
I'm gonna vote yes. Do we have a contingency plan if I can't be reached?
Gene would normally be the second one, because he would take off where if you're not here.
Right, so are we gonna agree on that?
We did agree on who was second.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, we're
If he's out of town, are
His
you
position-
approved to be
Yeah.
a second?
okay. All right. Are we moving on to unfinished business?
I say I wanna get mad tonight,
In reference to the handbook, who's discussing the handbook? Have we had any submissions in reference to,
Mr. Foster got something he wants to
Yes,
say.
sir. I understand what y'all saying about the overtime, but, you're not gonna get nobody to come out here, nobody but me and Mr. Long. That's it. Since I've been here, nobody else comes. Nobody but me and Mr. Long. So if the mayor can't get me, one of y'all, Mr. Long, what's gonna happen then? And if I'm out of town and Long ain't around,
Mr. Foster,
mm,
we're gonna do something about overtime, because always is
I
coming.
understand that. You gotta do what you gotta do, cause like I say, I didn't even get 20 hours the whole year. But I'm just saying, You know, you ain't got two people that's gonna come.
But we're talking about, much more so than that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the street department has very little overtime.
Right, right.
And a couple of times I've called you.
Right.
Because I was made aware of a tree, a telephone pole, or
Right.
something.
Right.
And thankfully you were able to come out. All right, handbook. Where do we stand on the handbook?
All right, we made some suggestions last time, I'm trying to incorporate them in, I'll try to have a firm draft for next week.
All right, in reference to new business. All right,
I'm not sure Mr. Perry was on here before, but you just registered it.
okay. New business in reference to approval to pay the bills. Is there a motion to pay the bills with funds that come available? All right, is there a second?
Yes.
We have a first and a second. All in favor? Say aye. Ms. Adams? Would you mind making a statement in reference to what we talked about in the office over there with that guy, when we spoke with that guy, in reference to paying these bills and stuff?
You talking about the auditor?
Yeah.
About paying the bills? Well, actually, he said we shouldn't even cut a check if we don't have money to cover the bills. If the town incurs a bill, we're obligated to pay. If you're overspending our budget, then that's a serious problem. So we should even, you all made a motion to pay bills tonight. Legally, well, I don't say legally, but I should even cut checks tomorrow if the money's not there to cover.
All right, so
That's what they're saying.
the one reason, I just wanted you to mention that, because, I mean, he was serious about that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's basically saying, don't approve or don't write a check unless you got the money.
Right.
Okay.
We'll always approve if the money is available.
But
That doesn't work.
that's just kind of to get us by.
Right.
He said that does not hold water.
Because if your vendors want, you know, and I understand the vendors want to get paid. And if they do work for us, and I can throw you out there, you know, there are times when he's been late on his, you know, he's been late receiving, you know, his payment. And you do the same, but you want to get paid. And you don't want to be waiting 2 and 3 months to get paid.
Well, why put on the agenda, if you put on the agenda, then the board know not to vote, I mean, we know, what's gonna have the money to pay for.
If they're okay, so you're saying that, so when Trail come in and say, I need some pipes, whatever, to fix this, and I said, no, Trail, I can't give you a bill because we ain't got no money. Or then you got customers that's not gonna get this pipe fixed. I'm just using for an example.
You can't write checks for
We
money you
understand all
don't
that.
have. So if your claims docket is $10,000 over than what's available, you can't pay any of them because you can't legally pick and choose which ones you want to pay. So you gotta pay all of them or none of them, and that's not gonna be fun.
No, it's not fun. It's not fun for the person that has to sit there and figure out where the money's gonna come from to pay them, or wait till the money's coming in to pay
And
them.
listen to the ones that come in that wouldn't get paid.
Correct. And that's the point of your budget. Your budget is a piece of paper, it's a guideline. But if your money doesn't come in, if the revenue doesn't come in, and you still spend the same, you may not be over budget in the area, but the money's not there to cover it. So that's the problem, and that's what I'm asking about as far as overtime. We $30 some thousand right now in overtime, that's money that we didn't account for. So we're already in the hole $30 some thousand, because we don't pay money that we didn't budget for,
And you can't budget for overtime.
and you can't budget for overtime.
Well, it's expected.
Correct. No, it's expected, but,
It is expected to a degree,
right,
but you just can't budget
We don't have.
$100,000 for overtime throughout the year.
We don't have no cushion. I mean, you know, you expect overtime, but you put something in your budget for a cushion. We don't have a cushion. We don't have $30,000 cushion.
So,
I'm just trying to stop you looking at me in September, and I'm asking for a word for you.
And I think that it came up today, and I mentioned to the mayor before, I think the chief said about a staff meeting that, you know, the mayor should meet with all the employees. They need to talk about some of these issues, because he said it too, you gotta get to work together. Some things you can't help, but there's some things that you can. And there are areas that you can do better, we should do better. And you can't go back on the past and try and correct everything that you did wrong in the past, because that's not gonna happen. But moving forward, there's some things we can do better. And it's not, Mr. Triple said, you can't go out and talk about this and talk about that one. You can't point fingers at one person. You can't say, I come in late, point the finger at me because I come in late, but Tawana comes in late and leaves her, but she don't say nothing about Tawana. So it needs to be across the board. We need to have a clean slate, a fresh start over.
So, the financial integrity, stability, and welfare of the town is utmost important. What is going to happen is, this is a baby step right here. If we don't curb some of these expenses, you will have to lay some people off. You won't have the money to pay.
It won't be her, it's gonna be y'all.
Well, I'm just saying that you will be forced.
Thank you.
And she knows I don't mean her. I'm just saying that the checkbook is going to force to have a layoff.
Right.
And we're short-handed and short-staffed in every department.
And then that makes it hard on, I would just say, for utility department. And that makes it hard on, they 3 people, and they need 5 people, other than the 3 people that we have, they need 8 people, and you got them doing 2 or 3 different jobs, and they can't cover the things that they need to do because they don't have to think about it to work. And I think you're trying to ask about, the person that left, making $12.50, going to the job, he's gonna be 25, so do the math.
Well, I mean, when that fella has done a good job, other people are gonna notice. Like, maybe Angola noticed he's a good guy. We're gonna offer you $17.25 to start. Well, sure, it's 80-mile round trip. That oftentimes gets overlooked. But 17 versus 12, and maybe some better benefits, we don't know.
We can't match that.
No, you're right. But what I'm saying is, no one's gonna knock him for working hard and promoting himself. We've gotta continue to look for people. We got some sort of a turnover rate like everyone else. When was the last time we put out a word in reference to employment?
Word of mouth is always.
Right.
And another thing, the gentleman over here talking about the gas line, you know, they look at the numbers, they gonna wanna know how, you talking about getting a loan, they gonna know, can you make this loan? Can you make this payment? And to begin with, unless it's some years I know, we can't make it, because we are struggling now, we are struggling.
No, you're not, you're losing.
Yeah.
And then like what you said, that was the last one trip or the month before. It ain't like nobody not you had to work. I was people on my heart.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And that's
the first thing they're gonna say, oh, they don't hear something. They looking, they went, wow, where he at? They don't even look at this.
okay. But look, Pastor Dunbar said it. Wetland said it. We've all said it. Is that there is a solution. Putting our heads together, asking some people from out of town, asking somebody in Jack. There's got to be a small town suffering from the exact same things where they're managing. Okay? I'm tired I think grants are spectacular. Grant is not a savior. It's a matching grant. There are $2,000 freebies out there. Yeah, there are. But when it comes to the match part, you know, we've got to be in a financial position to match those matches and take advantage of those things.
My observation is the board doesn't want to make hard decisions. And, I don't know how you're gonna regulate who gets overtime and who doesn't, but that's a hard decision.
Well, I'm only doing it because,
I'm not saying that's a wrong decision, I'm just saying you have to make some hard decisions in order to.
oh, you know, I would say most jobs that you take, you're gonna end up making more enemies than you'll ever make friends, right? The objective here is we gotta get a handle on what's going on in Woodville.
You tell me that every day,
I sure do,
every day.
I sure do.
And I told you I was gonna see what I could do about it.
Yes, sir.
You know, you don't think I listen to you? I listen, but sometimes I don't carry it on.
Oh, okay.
But I do listen to every real thing you say.
Thank you, sir, I appreciate it.
Now, whether I carry it out, that's on me.
Okay.
I will say something, the first time y'all said, when money comes available, I wouldn't go over my mouth. That don't work. You and I talked about it about a week ago. It'll get back and it sounds good, but the law says you cannot spend what you don't have, and you can't, when money comes available, pay them as the money comes in. If you got a $50,000 claim docket, you got that $50,001 in the bank pay.
Well, my debit card says that.
Come back on the Alderman's for approval. That's what they're gonna come back on your bond.
I understand where you come from, Mr. Lewis. This board ain't the first one to say that.
Oh, no,
Well,
and that's why I didn't try to tell you.
We gotta tote the ball.
And like I say, my claim socket runs probably 80,000 every month. 60 something is a low one, but around 80,000 a month. My payroll every month is around 50 some thousand every month. And we get sales tax is 26, that's a high sales tax, and that's we have to float on, pretty much, sales tax. That's my constant, that's what I can look forward to is, other things that come is, you know, they come in, some things come in once a year, twice a year, whatever, but monthly, that's what I have to count on is sales tax. And that's 26,000, you gotta spend you gotta divide 26,000, you know, $80,000 claims bucket and a $50,000 payroll. Okay. Doing that.
what I'd like to do, and I guess I could, and Delane would have to help me. I would like to know what it would cost to live in Woodville with our bills, like gas, water, sewer, trash, and so forth, what those rates would have to be for us to be a balanced budget. We already raised it, but just for curiosity's sake, I'd like to, well, your trash would end up having to be $50. Your water would be a flat, your base rate of, you know, $42.50. You still get, I mean, just out of curiosity, I'd like to know.
Well, the problem is, and just like she said, the board in the last, and I'm gonna might tick somebody off, but in the past 30 years,
Let's go back 50 and get you in the seat.
Well, go back 50.
Okay.
I would go back to 49, let me out of it, but the board historically, and I've been to almost every one meeting, when it comes to raising the water rates, $250 a month. Oh, we can't burn our constituents. Well, if you don't pay for it up front, you're gonna not have it in the end. And when you take your oath of office, there are certain things that you agree to provide your taxpayers with. Police, sewer, water, and utilities. And if your engineer says, just like on the sewer project, the water project, you need to go up 10% a year in order to keep your rural development and keep your ability to pay them off. But it hasn't been done, has been told. Somebody, I'm not saying somebody, but I'm telling you, that has happened in these meetings. And it's hard for me to sit here because I've been with y'all. I know the decisions you got.
I came back here and one of the meetings, we need to go up 10%.
That's right.
Best I can do was 2.5.
But
From the
if
board
they
of
don't
city.
pay for it up front to keep up with expenses, this and that and all that, to keep up with inflation, every day you're losing money.
Your good friend broke it to me like this, Charlie Neville, it's just a cost of doing this.
That's right. So, I mean, it's not y'all, but now y'all have the big problems to decide, and it's gonna be a very unpopular decision, whatever it's gonna be.
Well, either you're gonna have to pay it or you're not gonna have water, for instance. I mean, you gotta pay it. And, everyone has to pay more taxes, of course. And I would love to manage it where we didn't have to have a significant increase in anything.
But that's not gonna happen.
I know.
If your expenses go up, you gotta get your income up to pay for your expenses.
Yeah.
Keep up with it.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not keeping up with it.
If,
Who knows how much the document is? Who knows how much the document is, claims document is for this month? Who knows how much?
I didn't even look at it. Did you give it to us?
I sure did. How much is it?
I went through it, but I didn't read the bottom line.
I'm not leaving them.
$92,000.
92.
92.
But you know I read this thing.
How much do you read?
Huh?
Yeah, I know you read. 92.
Cause I called you back on $150.
$92,000.
You gotta write $92,000 a month now.
Oh, we were minding it, but collecting it.
Well, talked to one about it, she needs to grow about 15 inches and bulk up.
Oh, Lewis is coming back. He's using the restroom, but I would like to go ahead and wrap this up for anyone that needs to go. Can we? is
Oh,
we-
no, we're gonna set a meeting for the department head. When?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what y'all need to do, and this is my opinion, and it's not me, it's the newspaper. This gas thing can make you a lot of money. And like you say, I don't know how you're gonna get that first chunk of money to get started on it, but they make you work that out. But y'all got to move on this, let's not push it down a month. You don't
Oh,
have
God,
a
no.
month. You know, you got till September, and this is February. That is 7 months, and they said the time would be 7 months. That's what Trey said, 7 months overall. From beginning, starting, planning, getting everything together, and then 2 to 3 months to put it in pipe. That's the final end.
I wouldn't really know who looks favorably upon this stuff, in reference to a banking industry. I think I'm gonna rely on a little bit of Tom's knowledge and so forth to point us in the direction, to secure some sort of funding once we have some sort of solid information.
Your engineer might know something, because that's what they do.
Well, I mean, you know what? One of us could win the lottery and we could, invest in it privately.
But, I mean, I would hate to see, this is something that can bring the town money. You're gonna get them to pay the gas and the transportation fee, which is gonna help you pay your notes off somehow, some way, I don't know.
Here.
Once I
But
can
if this guy doesn't start talking to engineering services and get the ball rolling and let your engineer come down here, he would be, that's what you need to know. Exchange the information, let your engineer look at it, crunch numbers, and come down here and tell you whether it's good or not, whether you can afford it and how you can pay for it. So the longer you put that off, you're squeezing your 7 months out.
And once they go propane, they ain't going back to natural gas.
And even like you said, even with paying for natural gas and the transportation fee, their utility bill is gonna go down over what they're currently paying with propane.
And we still have not renegotiated any sort of management contract with the other systems, which, we need to do that to find out, make sure we're not getting killed on that. And another, discussion needs to be had with the satellite prison down there. Same thing, you know? Cause I would hate to hear that we make nothing off the satellite prison, even though we own the land. And the county seems to think we own the building. And we'll figure all that out. But if we're not getting the prime inmates to use in town and we're getting the bottom of the barrel, I don't agree with that. Because if the cream of the crop is going to Natchez or somewhere else, they should be coming to Woodville.
That's right, because it's here. Well, you need to talk to the Department of Corrections.
So I have talked to them. From there, they said that we own it. And then I said, I don't know about that.
The town.
Well, then I went to David Wilkerson and he said, y'all own it. That was y'all's property.
Who did?
David Wilkerson.
Who was y'all? You?
Oh, not me personally, no.
No, I'm talking about the town. Who owns it? David Wilson said the prison is owned by the state or by the town.
We own the property, and then we gave them the right to build the place there.
See, that's what I remember from when it went through.
Right. So they just asked us to be able to provide water and sewer and stuff up here and there.
Are y'all building?
I don't think we get anything.
You got water and sewer?
Oh, they're paying for that.
Okay.
But I'm saying.
Are they still on the water line, or did y'all keep it to the prison? Because right past that is where you start, and you sold to the water, Old River.
Yeah.
So which water line, are you on town water or on Old River? Okay. So do you think it goes down and feeds the prison, or are they paying the utilities?
Yeah.
But that's.
But right past there is where the Old River starts, right past the driveway, I think.
It goes a little bit further.
Okay.
Black,
Blackmore,
black some.
Blackmore.
It's not right there.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 houses and then, Dean Jones is his brother, what's his name?
Kevin Jones.
Huh?
Kevin Jones.
The one that lives on Chatsworth down the road,
Yeah.
right next to the river.
Kevin Jones.
Yeah.
Since you're back, we can adjourn.
No, I got one other thing.
He's on
I'm not gonna, this spot ain't gonna drag his feet on this gas situation. Once I get some hard numbers,
But see,
I'll finish, please.
okay.
And once I get some hard numbers, and I can find me a banker I can trust, then I'm gonna have a decision right here.
Well, that's fine. But the longer you delay the getting the
Oh, I'm gonna have
people,
all this done, hopefully, by the end of the month.
well, they need something by next meeting. But if
Okay.
you-
Come on.
But you've got to start, 2 key people, is this guy here and your engineer. They need to get together and come up with your hard number, and Tom knows that, he's gonna be your legal advisor on that. And
I
they need to get
understand where you're
together.
coming from, I'm gonna grab.
The longer, well, I mean, once you see figures, you can make a decision in 2 minutes. But getting those figures here, you need to get them here, and then if you get them in 2 weeks, y'all need to have a special meeting and look at those
No
figures.
problem. You
And
can
you
give
can
me
go ahead
one
and call them and be under them.
I think he said he's gonna call engineering services, the man that was here, he's gonna call engineering services on his way out.
And Trey has been speaking to him, he said, I talked to him a year ago, so then, and he said engineering services is excited, they wanna do it, so the town doesn't need to sit on your hands
I'm
and
not gonna do that, man, I promise.
That's just a tax fight.
What's our meeting for your,
You got to finish it?
Now, I mean, as far as and when that assessment, when that proposal looks good, the banks will say, well, absolutely. No, I don't mean it that simply.
Banks have no security, that's what's gonna drive them crazy.
Okay.
No security.
I'm saying,
And,
so their security is our reputation.
and the financial status of town of Woodville is gonna be a great part of it.
Yeah. But what I'm just saying is, the presentation to the bank needs to look favorable.
So y'all tell me I don't need to see a bank.
No.
Well, if you don't have anything to put up as collateral, except for what we may get in the future, and they don't like that, they've been told.
I'd love to see it. I wish we knew some sort of number that we were talking about. Like you said, is it $1 billion? Is it 500,000?
He said, no, it's gonna be less than $1 million.
I know, but he,
That's right.
because,
And we need to bring Silas Simmons in here.
yeah, why don't you adjourn?
Well, you have to be last.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
All right.
All right, there's a first and a second.
No, we're gonna have this other meeting.
Well, we've got to look at everyone's schedules and everything else. I mean,
Okay.
okay, so it was the first by Lewis, the second by Mr. Carter. All in favor, say aye to adjourn.
So y'all gonna set something big, another, we have your other.
Okay, in reference to this employee staff meeting, do you want to do one at a time?
No, we'll get them all at one time.
I mean, we can't have a room full of
No,
confusion.
we don't have them, I can't bring it in one at a time.
There you go. I got another one up there too.
Is this two separate meetings? You do the staff meeting and then you do the executive session meeting? Are you doing two different things?
I'm ready.
Are you doing two different things?
I thought we were just trying to have staff meetings with each department.
Okay.
And I don't see why we have to let them sit out front for hours at a time while we do, staff meetings. And who do you suggest be at these staff meetings besides that department?
So let's get all of the department here and we'll be fine.
All right, so you don't want to do employees, just supervisors.
I said, that's what I said. Y'all confused.
All right,
Just
so,
next Friday down there, next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. I'm just throwing something out.
Elaine, would you like to do,
Next Tuesday.
Elaine,
Oh, the fourth there too.
I think it's on.
And what?
if I meet with the department head, right, and have one other alderman there with me, I would like that. We can do that, let's meet. Okay, so I will schedule a meeting.
It goes around. It goes around. We travel to other states and all
It's gonna be during the
I
night.
can't believe that. Well, we need to have that tomorrow, girl. Come on.
It's not gonna be after work, it's gonna be an hour or so during the day, let's get together and have our own meeting. Just bring it on.
So it's gonna be employees or head or what?
Department heads to begin with, I think we need to trust that that department head can relay that to their people. Yeah. We'll make our way through the staff meeting.